Today I want to talk to you about what an excellent Guyana would look like. And this is particularly important given that we've just celebrated 60 years of independence. And you have to kind of think about this: independence from what and independence towards what. I particularly like the concept of interdependence, and interdependence basically speaks about how do we relate to each other, how do we depend on each other to make sure that we get a better output, right? Because an excellent Guyana, in my mind, is one where rules work, your expectations of what you would want in a developed country actually happen, order on the roads, institutions that deliver in a timely manner, in a professional way, neighbors that actually don't just look out for their own properties, but actually look out for a street that is safe and conducive to living your life, schools where students are taught how to respect each other, help each other in an environment that actually teaches them how to think instead of just what to think. And that's what I think about when I think of an excellent Guyana. And then because I'm a coach, because I focus heavily on the development of people and organizations, I thought I'd share with you what I believe is needed. And what I believe is needed falls into three main categories. First category, of course, is competence. And competence is basically the ability to deliver on a specific task or responsibility. So if you are a driver, can you actually competently drive people around safely in a timely manner, in a convenient way in which they really love the experience? Competence as a coach is, can you actually competently help people understand what they have in their mind, allow them to get clarity, and then map out the plan. And then can you hold them accountable to get there? That's what competence would mean in that case. And step number one towards an excellent Guyana is actually having a competent group of citizens, or really competent citizens. Because if people don't know how to get the result, they'll just keep struggling and they'll keep doing having shortcuts, and also you keep getting substandard results, because if they don't know how to do it, how can they actually get the right results? And so in any population, this is what is called a bell curve. So a population is usually spread out in a bell curve, and here this would be the number of people. And so here it would be 0, and here it would be as much as you can go. So in Guyana, if you have 1 million people in Guyana, they're spread out, and in this case I'll use intelligence, because in many cases intelligence is directly related to competence. The more intelligent, and think back to when you were a primary school, the kids who did really well usually chose fields that were a big stretch from the kids who didn't do really well, right? The kids who didn't do really well, they were not the fastest at learning. They weren't thinking about becoming doctors and lawyers. They were not thinking about becoming scientists, maybe, because at that level, maybe that's what they struggled with. It doesn't mean that they cannot be really good at the area that they want to get good at, but if we're going to think about an excellent Guyana, we do need to have people who choose to do the work of developing an excellent Guyana. Because you'll also have people who really don't care. They don't believe in themselves, they think they don't have the intelligence, they think they don't have the competence, and they kind of resign themselves to this side here. They resign themselves to the lower end instead of to the higher end of people who have demonstrated, hey, I'm intelligent, I can actually do this thing, I can actually develop my competence, right? So it's easier, it's not impossible, but it is easier for intelligent people to develop a higher level of competence. So that's step number one. And any population, the bulk of the people will usually fall in the middle. You'll have some people who are extremely low competence. They can maybe do just one thing kind of well, and they kind of get stuck to this area here. And these are usually the people who need a framework to be created that also takes care of them. Because if not, If the people over here just take care of themselves, these people will suffer, and in many cases, the bulk of the population will also suffer. If we are really going to move towards this concept here, then we do need people who have chosen to develop abilities, skills, knowledge to a very high level of competence to take action on a much bigger scale, to actually solve problems worth solving. And a good thing, for you to know if you fall in that category, is that most of the time these people can easily take care of themselves. Like, they have no problem, despite the circumstances, of really taking care of themselves and their families and maybe their own companies. That is usually a sign that, hey, they actually possess those abilities. The next big area that we really need to focus on is commitment. And commitment, if you think about it, it's a lot of focus, right? Where do you focus your attention? And I recently attended a conference where Mo Gaudat, who is previous vice president of Google, he wrote the book Unstressable. So if you haven't read that book, I really encourage you to read it. And what he says is that things that can cause you stress are usually macro or micro. Macro means really big things. If it happens to you, it has a big impact. It can be shocking. And then micro are the little things that keep bothering you all the time. And then you have internal and external. And the way he explained it is you could always be affected by a ton of stress, to make it easy to remember. And what I'll do is a ton of stress. The T stands for trauma. And trauma basically means big negative impact events on your life. Death of someone, an accident, a health scare. Those are trauma. And as a child, trauma that happens in your childhood, if you don't learn from it, if you don't resolve it, can last your entire lifetime and affect every single decision that you made. So if you were neglected as a child, in your brain, oh wait, children get neglected. And in some cases, you might either think it's okay, yeah, children can just be neglected, or you can overcompensate. And then you smother your own children because you didn't want them to experience what you experienced, but in the process, you actually make them weaker because they don't get to experience what it means to deal with some level of difficulty in life. So trauma, and also remember, every single human being experiences trauma. The difference is some live in trauma all the time. They just keep living with the bad experience of it. And some learn from it and then apply the lessons in their future. The next area is called obsession. And obsession is when you, oh, you know what I did? I'm just going to correct this here for a second. Trauma is something that happens outside of you. And obsession is actually internal. You do it to yourself in your own mind, right? So a trauma always happens from the outside, right? As I mentioned, an accident, a death, something that affects you heavily, like if you end up in a war zone and a bomb gets dropped, that's external trauma that can affect you significantly. Obsession is internally. What are you obsessed about? And unfortunately, some people think that other people have time to think about them. So maybe they have a facial feature that they don't like about themselves, and they keep thinking, well, other people are thinking about me, and they're so self-conscious about their own appearance that they're obsessed about it. And then you have makeup, and you have all kind of things that people want to fix about themselves, and it could be not just that, it could also be their status. They're constantly obsessed about their status and how they look to other people. And that, in my opinion, is like a negative obsession, because really the amount of energy you put into that, nobody really cares if you think about it. Nobody is waking up and going to bed at night thinking about you and your obsession. You're the only one who actually puts a lot of energy into it. On the inside, you also have what is called noise. Now, noise are the smaller thoughts. Oh, what did this one say just now? And you keep thinking it through. And what happened, what's going to happen tomorrow when I have to do that presentation? And, what if the weather is not going to be the way I want it to be? a lot of that is noise, and it just keeps people busy. And then you also have external stress that is small, that is really what we call a nuisance. And a nuisance is people. This is outside of your own head, because noise is what you do to yourself, nuisance is what other people do to you. This one sending you a WhatsApp, and that one asking you to go do this for them, and the music outside by your neighbor, affecting you, your ability to rest. All of that falls into nuisance. And the goal is to understand the stresses that happen in your life. Where are they coming from? Where exactly are they coming from? And again, what you would want to do with the trauma is get the lessons from the trauma so that you don't keep experiencing the pain. The nuisance you want to eliminate. Right? What can you do to maybe soundproof your house so that no sound from the outside could really bother you? Can you block the people on WhatsApp who really just keep bothering you, or unsubscribe from the things that in your email that just keep filling up your email box and really being a nuisance to you? Noise, I find the easiest way to get rid of the noise in your own head is figure out if it's important. If it's important, document it and then decide what the next step is. If it's not important, then does it really need to live in your head rent-free? The obsession, we want to move away from these negative obsessions, and we want to actually choose an obsession in life. And you might think that, oh, obsession, is that really a good word? People keep asking you as well, what's your passion, right? And, passion fades after a time. What I really want you to think about is what is something that you can channel the energy from here, here, and here into something that is positive and moves you along. And if I have to give an example, for 10 years I've been collecting information to write my book, and this year I decided to make it my obsession to get the book finished because I know the impact that this book will have. I'm also very passionate about creating a learning environment where we can very quickly help people who are intelligent move up in their competence level. We can help people who are obsessed about creating better solutions, have the environment that makes these things happen faster. So that is what I mean when I say an obsession. What is something that will serve you, your family, your community, and maybe the bigger world in a positive way, right? Because that then is, instead of stress, it becomes something called eustress. And eustress is basically positive stress. And positive stress will cause you to grow. Negative stress will cause you to quit. And that is why we need this to be positive stress, so that you can actually end up with the growth that you're looking for. So I trust you're following me to this point. So what we need in the people who can build an excellent Guyana is a high level of competence in the field that they've chosen. And we need people who are actually extremely committed to an obsession that they have, something that they really want to make into a positive solution, something that will impact themselves and others really well. In Guyana, I think the key thing that we often fail with, and I think if we don't solve this, we'll keep getting more of what we've been getting, is ethics. And for ethics, I want you to think about it this way. And ethics, you have the things that are right and then the things that are wrong. And again, you can do things that are super right, where you didn't just do it for yourself, you did it for many other people. Or you can do wrong things, and then you can also go overboard with wrong things. You're not just harming yourself, you're harming others, and maybe you're harming a whole country as well. There will be this line here where when you're standing here, you can kind of figure out that I'm right on the border. Because a lot of people love to live in this gray area where they think, well, I'm doing this thing to benefit myself. And they don't think about all the harm that they're causing. So for something to be ethical, there must be no harm. No harm to yourself, no harm to others. It's a very quick way to think about it. Is what I'm doing going to harm myself or others? If the answer to that is no, fantastic, good. How is this beneficial to myself and others? Right? So it cannot do any harm, and it must be beneficial for yourself and others. And the job is that every time you want to ask yourself, if it leans on this side, you cannot proceed. regardless of how good the benefit for you is. And even if you want to think about it, imagine someone who's deciding to commit the crime. Is it good for them? Yes, they'll benefit from the proceeds of crime. Is it good for the other party? No, of course not. So that is absolutely wrong. Right? So choosing what is right is not, it's supposed to be easy, yet very often it's not. You go to the store and you paid for something and they give you a change, and the change is more than it's supposed to be. What should you do? You can benefit from it by walking away, but is that beneficial to the person who has just given you the wrong amount of change? No. So that's wrong. Can you stop in your tracks and say, hey, I think you made a mistake, please check this box? That would be the right thing to do. In the moment, you can benefit from that extra money, and that is where most people struggle, because they want immediate gratification instead of doing the right thing, and the person saying, hey, this is a good person, I really appreciated that this person did that. Next week, I might actually know, hey, this person usually buys this thing and we're almost sold out. I'm going to put it aside because this is a good portion. I want to make sure this person gets to benefit from that thing. You cannot ever experience those benefits if you live on this side. And that is what Guyana really struggles with. Too many people are doing small, medium, and very big wrong things, and then they complain that nothing good is happening for them. It is impossible for something good to happen for you if you do these things here. And I'm not a saint. I myself have stood at this point many, many times. And that's when I think about the phrase, this is Guyana. And when we say this is Guyana, we usually don't mean it in a good way. We mean that everybody does the wrong thing, therefore it's okay for me. And I'm talking about, things like speeding when, I know it's wrong, but everybody's speeding. Or, even having to pay for a speeding ticket, and then the person who's in charge of that speaks in a way that makes you think that they want you to induce them, and then saying, well, please just give me the ticket, that I don't get involved with things like that. Those are decisions that you have to learn to make in order to get the respect and also that positive energy that is required for good things to happen for you. And in Hinduism, this falls under the subject as well of karma. And every wrong thing you do will follow you. Every right thing you do will also follow you. So in order for us to get to a place where we can get to an excellent Guyana, I gave you my definition. You need to also look at what's your definition, and if it aligns, like, do you really want to be in a country where you can really get the goods and services that you're expecting in a professional way by people who are really committed to serving each other, to delivering value, and who choose to do what is right? Because doing what is right compounds, doing what is wrong compounds as well. And if you open your social media, you'll see how much we've compounded the wrong, right? Just look at Facebook and look at 10 posts and see how much of it is the compounding of wrong. And if we really want to get here, then we need to start compounding what is right. And doing what is right starts with you. It starts with me. And it takes energy, it takes effort, and then it gets bigger and it compounds and it compounds. And then good things start happening that you have no clue of how it came about. Yet, it's a domino effect. It's the little right decision that you chose to make a year ago, 6 months ago, 10 years ago, that now keeps compounding and compounding. Based on my research, the way of living and my way of working, this is what I believe is needed, and a lot of it is really about the mindset. If you want better, you have to do better. Nobody's going to come do it for you. And I wanted to share with you a quick framework. So measure yourself on your own competence. In the past, all we had was human intelligence. Now it is compounded with artificial intelligence. And that is basically the all human knowledge that was ever generated now available at your fingertips. So there should be no reason why the level of intelligence you have cannot be turned into competence. For those of you who have been using some level of AI, just ask it, what is a positive obsession based on everything that AI knows of you already, that you could really focus on, that would use passion, use your energy, and help you focus on it. And then, of course, I love AI for this specific reason here. There should be no reason why you ever choose to do wrong anymore. If whenever you're in doubt, turn on your AI and talk to it and say, this is happening, these are my options, what is right and what is wrong. Right? So if you ever had the excuse of, well, I didn't know, and this is Guyana and everybody doing it, just ask it. Right? Because the thing I love about AI for now is that it is programmed to give you ethical answers, not programmed to be able to tell you to do the wrong thing. And it will quickly point out to you when it is wrong. Right? So use the tools at your disposal. AI is a tool. It will only be as good as the user puts it to use. Apply this to your life. If you have any questions, reach out. I thought I'd share this with you. It's been really, really powerful in my own life and the lives of the people that I've been working with. And I do want to live in an excellent Guyana. I'll do my part. Can you do yours?